Welcome to Hardcore Garage. I'm just chilling down here in the garage. Dropped the 93 off yesterday to get the passenger side cab corner repaired. So now 2 of my 4S10s are in the shop. Feeling kind of depressed about it. Don't really have anything to work on. Kind of at a loss right now. So I'm just chilling and thought I'd talk about some addictions that I have. You might see in the background there, I kind of like old school Rockford Fosgate. I think that addiction started whenever I was, began the rebuild of the 89. However many years ago that was. It just progressed and progressed and progressed. And eventually I said, I'm going to build this with parts from the era that it was popular without, a budget really. How would I have built this truck in 1990, whatever, 2, 3, 4, if I had unlimited funds, or the funds that I have available to me nowadays. And it's been difficult trying to find these old parts, but it just kind of snowballed from there. The first one, the 300, I had 2 punch 150s in my truck originally, and 4 punch 15s slammed really, really, really hard, blew my eardrum, whatever. I don't know if I've told that story on here or not. I will eventually, but so eventually I said, I'll have a 300. Then I'm like, no, I ran across a 650 and I'm like, no, I'm going to get the 1000. I still haven't found my 1000 yet, but whatever the biggest amp that I have when the time comes, that's the one that's going to be in the 89. The rest of them will just be wall art. I put a 45 in my work truck. I really dig the sound of the punch stuff. I used a newer P3 shallow subwoofer for that, application, but I really have always dug and really been satisfied with the sound of the Rockford Fosgate Punch Series, Pro Series. Don't think that I've ever ran any Series 1, so I don't have too much experience with that, but this was my stuff back in the day. I actually worked at a place called Stereo on Wheels in Dayton, Ohio, selling and installing this stuff, so I got to know it pretty well and was always impressed with the things that Rockford Fosgate amps could do that other amps just weren't capable of doing. When I sold these things in 1989, the Power 6, the Punch One Power 1000 was $2,500. The Power 650, I want to say, was $1,750. The Power 300, either that or it was $1,500 maybe for the Power 650. Man, I don't remember what I know that the 300 was more than 1,000. The 150s were $500. The Punch 75s were $300. The Punch 45s were, I want to say, $200, and the Punch 30s were a little bit cheaper than that. You can see on the board here too, I have the OEQ1 octave equalizer, the AF2 HD crossover, the PA1 HD, which is a preamp. I also have an epicenter in there, which is pretty cool. Not too many people still have those. It'll go back in the S10 as well. And some of these other things, a lot of it's just going to be for show. Finding some of this old school audio can be a challenge at times. 25-year-old foam, if it wasn't stored properly, does not hold up. But occasionally you'll come across some really nice finds. These 5 1/4 were from the early 90s, and my gosh, they are mint. The foam is still nice and soft on them. Still really, really tight. These will be going in the 89 as well. I've got a pretty good selection of old school speakers that I have found. I've found people that will refoam them, recone them. They, repaint the centers here, make them look almost brand new. These are my pride and joy here, the Punch 15s. I was able to keep 2 of them. The other 2, I don't remember, honestly. It's been so long whether or not I sold them or they were blown, and I just tossed them. That's before we knew that things could be rebuilt. Even though we spent so much money on this, we just had no idea to keep them, so we would rip them apart, keep the magnets for dumb projects, and toss the speakers out. But I've got 2 of these that have been totally rebuilt, that are going back in a quasi 6th order box that, man, I can't even remember the place. It was in Fort Worth, Texas. It was in a Rockford Fosgate certified dealer that made the box with the Rockford specs, and man, it slams. One of the final things that is going to go in the 89 is going to be an Alpine pullout. This is the exact model that I had back in the day, the 7290. I'm really looking for a 7390, which was the very, very top of the line at that moment. I don't remember what they cost, but it was pretty darn expensive. It was like one of the first radios to have I think it was either a 2x2 or it had to have been about a 2x2 LED screen. Very, very cool. I'm always on the lookout for one of those. You got to build your dreams. You got to see a vision and go after it. Don't let anything stop you. I mean, if you want to build a particular style of ride, it doesn't matter what anyone else says. Don't let that static into your head. Do what you think you need to do. Get it done. Doesn't matter how long it takes, as long as you keep moving forward. Keep on trucking.